Have you ever been working at your job and wanted to cry, but it was a socially inappropriate time to start sobbing? So you had to keep that crying on the inside part of your body. Crying on the inside, a strategy we have all used to get through our workday. My name is Dr. Paul Goodman, and this is My First Job podcast, sponsored by Dentist Job Connect. In My First Job podcast, we are going to talk about your first job, your worst job, and strategies for success. Instead of crying on the inside each day, the My First Job podcast is going to help you connect with awesome dentisting humans so that you can share in the joy of full contact arts and crafts. To learn about our jobs that we have listed, text job to 215-543-6454 or text hire. If you're looking to hire an associate, text hire to 215-543-6454 and we'll share our amazing and affordable system for everyone to connect, to work together, to do what we all wanted to do in dental school, live our best dentisting life. My guest today is the amazing Jim. Before we find out about what Jim does to help dentisting humans, I want to ask Jim, what was your first job on planet Earth?
I was a paper boy.
Paperboy.
Newspapers every Sunday.
Yep. What mode did you use? The bike? Did you have a sidecar on your bike? Tell us about that.
I'll tell you what, I used the dad mode. My dad would literally put my papers in the car for me, warm it up, come wake me up like 3 times, and then we'd get in the car and he'd help me go deliver the papers.
That is good, Dad. That is a good dad. You're a dad caddy there for the paper route.
Dad caddy, yep.
So now let's shift into what you do in your dental life. You and Tyler are amazing key resource and sponsor, doctors, disability specialists doing such important work to protect dentists. Just tell us a little bit about your day-to-day with helping dentists protect themselves.
We help dentists with disability insurance. So when they graduate from dental school or when they are 3, 4, 10 years out, we help them look at their income and make sure that it's protected.
And have you found that dental school does not do enough to highlight the importance of disability insurance, especially early enough when you're at your healthiest time?
I'm just going to say, yes, we are a good resource for either dental schools or, out in the real world, because sometimes dental schools are busy teaching other things.
Good diplomatic way to say it here on My First Job podcast, Jim. But in essence, if we are talking about a just be real topic, dental schools are asking human beings to pay $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 to get a degree, and they should infuse how to protect that degree, how to make sure that if you are out of school and you run into a challenge, that you're not going to be in a financial disaster. And you and Tyler do that. We've talked in the past too. It's not just for dental students, disability insurance. You're a few years out. Is it important to review your policy? Have you seen holes in policies, like holes in a golf swing, Jim? I know you're a golfer. Have you seen holes in policies that people are not aware of?
I have plenty of holes in my golf swing. So absolutely. So we use an expression, doctors, disability specialists, words matter. Yeah. And, not every contract has the same language, and disability insurance companies, they have lawyers that have lawyers, and they put words in contracts that sometimes aren't in your favor. Shockingly, right. I know that. So it's our job to read through these really exciting, contracts and find the best ones that suit your profession, the dental profession. So by all means, check it out, go back and review. 10 years goes by quickly. You still have a $4,000 monthly benefit, and you would be in a heap of trouble if you got hurt or sick and only had, $50,000 coming in a year versus you're now making $500,000 maybe. Who knows?
Right. It's so key. And, like I said, my grandma says I'm the most interesting person in the world, Jim, but just in case people listen to this time, if they would like to reach out to Doc's disability specialist, you can text DDS to 215-543-6454. You can text DDS to 215-543-6454. They're amazing sponsors or a group, and they can get you your first policy, review the policy you had. If you're a D3, D4 resident, now is the time. Yesterday is the time. If you've been out 3, 4, 5, 6 years, Jim and Tyler will review your policy and let you know if it makes sense or nacho sense, or, nacho sense, Jim. So now let's get back to the job world. You are an awesome person. You have so many interests. I love learning from you on all of your social media platforms. So I know you'll have, some good insight here. If you were searching for a job as a newish dentist, or you didn't like your job and now you got to get a different job, what's some advice you could give our audience? What would you do? Whether it's with networking or mentorship, tell us something about that.
what I say, dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
I like that.
That doesn't quite work in dentistry because you wear scrubs and loops, but
You get fancier scrubs. You got fancier scrubs.
fancier scrubs, yeah, and better looks. There you go.
Yeah.
So my answer to that is really be prepared. Networking is key. Get to know people that are out in the world already while you're in dental school. If you can shadow at an office, in your area, that's terrific. But really, just be your authentic self and get yourself out there, and you'll find the right place.
I love that. And also, you guys sponsor a lot. I know you do this because you want to make life fun like I do. Just share with us, you had that great softball team and the name. Where does things like that help? Like, why should a dental student, why should they join a softball team? Even if they don't love softball, what's some of the things that will help them with finding a job? Who are they going to meet?
So I'll back up just a little bit and explain. So we Tyler and I sponsored a team up here in Portland, Maine. And the team name was the Red Sockets.
I like
which,
that.
play on words for the Red Sox and all that. But our team was comprised of both local practicing dentists and specialists, and then dental students here at the school in Portland. And the interaction that occurred was back to that same word. Maybe I'm overusing it, but it's authentic. It's it's not contrived. It's just very natural. So we'll be playing softball, and you get to know people on a personal level. And a lot of these relationships that are built are great. So why would you do something like that if you don't love softball? And maybe it's not softball. Maybe you find a different way, a different venue. But you do it because you get to know people, and you never know. You can help people, and they can help you.
And you mentioned a group there that are huge connectors. And people, I'll say, dentists tell me a lot of their secrets. They really don't tell me a lot of their secrets, Jim. They tell me a lot of their stresses that they don't feel comfortable telling other people. And maybe a lot of times they don't have anyone else to tell. So I want to share a great tip from me. There's a general dentist today calling up their oral surgeon saying, "Hey, Dr. Jim, I'm going to refer you this implant." And I just want to mention my associate left, and it's very annoying because even though his wife is going to San Francisco to live her best doctor life, I now don't have an associate. Just want to let you know, Dr. Jim, if you hear of an associate, let me know. And that's because you and I have a relationship, general dentalist specialist, and I feel comfortable sharing my stresses. So these are not secrets of enormous magnitude. They're more just sharing stresses. They do that with equipment reps. They do it with anyone. You could be reviewing someone's policy if someone's 7 years out, and you might just happen to say, "What's your practice life?" You can say, "My 2 associates just got into endo," and you may be able to help solve those problems. So just put yourself in positions and develop relationships with people who can do that. So this part of the show, Jim, is one of people's favorite parts, because if I said, "Hey, Jim is going to tell us something really great that happened in his life and how much he feels good about it," no one ever says, "Boring, Jim. Nobody wants to hear it." Jim is going to tell you now, what is one of the worst jobs you've had? And what did you learn from one of those worst jobs?
Oh my goodness. So I was a fish fry cook on Friday nights at a restaurant when I was in college. And it was Friday nights, very busy, like 6 fry laters. And I would not get the fish smell out of my hands until the following Thursday, which then I go back to work the Friday and smell like fish again. So it wasn't very good for my dating life. I can assure you that. I was there a short time, maybe 6 weeks. So what did I learn from that? I learned that I didn't want to be a fish fry cook for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But what I really out of that, or what I really want to gain, was the proficiency. So when I got good at that job and could actually do it on my own, that's when I left it. So I don't know if I learned what I didn't want to do, I guess.
Well, I was going to say that. So I have a story to share. My very first job was also one of my worst, an official one, because there was a diner-ish type roadside stand that we went to. They had root beer and ice cream. I always wanted to work there. I was kindly annoying. They gave me a job, but the person who got me the job was one of the head servers. But when I met the owner, I don't think he even knew I was hired. He said, I thought I was going to be in the front serving things. He said, "You go back and run the fryer." And I go, "I don't know how to run any of this." He goes, "I don't care." So I was putting fish and mozzarella sticks into these boiling hot vats of oil. There's no way this could have adhered to any safety standard. I don't just think you can take a kid off the street and have him dunking things in oil, right? But that was one of my worst jobs for this reason. The person had unrealistic expectations of my skills, was not a kind leader, and also gave me no training, no systems. But what I learned there was I really value systems. I value taking time when people start to work to say, this is how we do things in this culture. Please feel free to ask if you feel uncomfortable. And that's just so important to me. So I'm like you learn things from worse jobs that you don't want to do out there. So I like
your answer better than mine, though. That was very well thought out.
Thanks. Yeah, but we both did fish fry cooks. We were both dunking frozen fish into something. Now I want to ask, so these are sitcom length shows, and I always think they're fun type things. What was one of your favorite sitcoms in life, or what's one of your favorite sitcoms?
Growing up, hands down, Cheers, and now currently Ted Lasso.
Oh, wow. We got a Ted Lasso recently. Those are both great. Cheers, I've had a Family Ties and Wonder Years were two of my favorite. But the Ted Lasso, and we talked about this in a previous episode, I think that is the perfect show for the perfect time on earth, because I think that, I've watched it, and Ted Lasso is a very kind person, but he also is, I'm using this, he's fairly incompetent at a lot of things in life. And we all feel that way, but then he's competent in these other things. And this was from one of the article I'd read, and that he's this character who's the hero that's incompetent and competent at the same time. And I think we all feel that way at sometimes.
So true. Yeah. Right. He was chosen for the wrong reasons, but he makes it work out.
Yeah. So I think that's so key. And I think it's being mentally flexible is good key. So as we wrap up, Jim, tell us, you can text DDS to 215-543-6454, but how could someone reach out to you directly? They want their policy reviewed. If they're a dental student or resident, what would be the best way?
They can just email me or Tyler. I'm james.cashmar, KACHMAR @ddsteam.net. And Tyler's Tyler.DeStefano @ddsteam.net.
Awesome. You guys are really just doing such awesome work. If you'd like to learn from us about where you can find a job, just text job to 215-543-6454. If you're looking to hire an associate, text hire to 215-543-6454, or reach out to us at jobconnect@dentalnachos.com. Thanks so much, Jim.
Awesome, Paul. Thank you.